that. I like that song. What about you, John Bon Jovi?
I like that a lot. It's a lot of, a good rock and roll, good production, nice smooth on the young lady's end. But there's an ethereal quality to it that I didn't hear in the first song, and this is good.
No,
this is very good.
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's you know the feel I got out of it. Obviously, the song is different. It's not the same music or the same style of music, but the feel I got out of it was. Check and see what you think of this now. I was getting the feel of John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John in Grease.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, but now that you mention that, yes, I can definitely hear that.
Yeah, I'm listening to it. And I just got that feel. I just suddenly pictured Travolta and Olivia doing their duet together, and that's where it left me.
There was also, and this is kind of a strange twist, if you will, in that. One of the things that struck me about this particular song, Rainbows and Lightning, is that I could picture myself years ago as a teenager in Boston and listening to something. Yeah, it was a lot of years ago. Listening to something like that on, maybe WRKO or WMEX, and it just what it did listening to that. It kind of brought me back to my youth. And again, it's been a long, long time since I was a youth.
No, I agree with you, and it just makes me want to see that stage production even more.
I'd like that. I'd like that a lot. It'd be great to go see that.
Absolutely. I hope they take it on the road and come out this way with it. I'd love to go see it. John Vento, ladies and gentlemen, another artist that I think you're going to be hearing a lot more of. Check him out online, as with all of our artists. Check him out. Drop them a line. Talk to them. They love to hear from you, to know what you think about their music. And, hey, let us know what you think, too. Our address is an easy one to remember, which is why I selected it, so I can even remember it. David at TheDavidBowers.com. Simple as that. Drop me a line. Love to hear from you. Our next guest is a return guest who's been on the show a couple of times. She's got some new music coming out, and she has been sweet enough to let us sneak preview it. We're going to give you a little extra preview ahead of the release of her new album. Her name is Jennie Johnson, and this is a song that is currently out, and you may have already heard. I hope you have. If not, you have now. It's called "Carried Away."
Haunting me. What did you think? I can't compete when on the low they're texting me, but I'm get carried away. Carried away. Don't get carried away. I'll let you have your fun, but don't get carried away. Carried away. Don't get carried away. You're not the only one, so don't get carried away. So don't get carried away. Don't get carried away. Don't get carried away. I'll let you have your fun, but don't get carried away. Even though you know I love you, you know that I can leave you.
I'll let you have your fun, but don't get carried away. Jennie Johnson, come on in here and say hello, Jennie.
Hello, hello, hello. I have missed you guys.
We've missed you, too. So good to have you back here again. And what a dynamite new sound you've got out. Now, that's just a teaser, because I've heard some of the other tracks from this new album you've got coming out, and that's going to be dynamite. I think you've got a winner there. How you doing, anyway?
I'm doing amazing. You know, every day is a new surprise for me. So I'm just moving, you know, making things happen.
You are definitely doing that, and we are so glad to have you back here. Now, Carried Away is your, it's basically your most recent release from an album that you released last year, correct?
Yes, that was from my album called Note to Self, and that released back in June.
Right, and how's the single doing for you?
The single's doing great. Everybody is digging I'm on Fire. So, and Carried Away, yes. A lot of people are loving that song. Carried Away is really taking off. You know, I'm starting to really push it promotion-wise. So we're still getting those ears to hear it. So push it all if you guys want.
I got you there, and I remember when you were on the last time, we did the preview of I'm on Fire, which was a great one. We got some great feedback on that, and I know we're going to get some good feedback on this, but I can't wait for the sneak previews of the stuff you've got coming. Now, you've been doing an awful lot since we talked with you last. You've been out. Let's see. You've recorded a new album. What else?
Yep.
What else have you been doing?
I performed in Hollywood a couple times at Whiskey A Go Go for a couple celebrities. I got to open up
whiskey.
Yes, I got to perform opening act as for Ryan Cabrera, and then also for Saving Forever. They're an upcoming younger group. They're amazing, by the way. So I was blessed to stay on the stage with them, and then I also opened up for 112 and Next. You know, back in I forget what month it was, but that was amazing. It was a celebrity theater out here in Arizona. So I've made my little rounds. I'm trying to get to the East Coast though, like New York and stuff, and get out there and do some shows. We're currently working on a local tour here in Arizona to kind of get the community to hear about me a little bit more. So I remember Demi Lovato. She's like one of my biggest artists that I love out there in the music industry. And I remember she did a house party tour. And so that's where I kind of got that concept from is, you know, she did a bunch of house parties locally, and that's how she got her local scene to get to know her a little bit better. So I'm kind of following in that footsteps and just doing a little local tour here in Arizona and trying to get my music heard more.
Well, you have to get us your schedule, because I'm here in Arizona too, and I'd love to try and catch you at one of the local shows if I can. So be sure and get us that schedule. And now, are you posting your scheduled dates on your online pages?
I am, and actually I was taking a little bit of a break because I was working on new music. I actually went out to LA. It was just a couple months ago, and I was asked to go to Atlantic Records, and that was such a big day for me. And I went to Atlantic Records. They played all 4 of my songs all the way through, the entire fourth floor could hear my music. That was pretty cool. Then they asked me to come back. So what we've been doing is I came back here, and we've been working on new music ever since. So we're working on that music to bring out to Atlantic Records, so I'm super excited about that.
Oh, I don't blame you. I remember when I first moved to California, I was mentioning earlier when we were talking with John Vento that I'd gone out to California in the very late 70s. And I remember my first trip was out to, as a matter of fact, was to see the gentleman I mentioned earlier, Claude Hall, who was a writer for Billboard magazine at the time. That was my first trip into L.A. and Hollywood after I went to California. And I was, like you said, it is just so blow you away. I got to go up and sit and talk with him. And then through the course of the years that followed, I made the rounds to the Whiskey and several of the other clubs there. And, of course, to all the major labels. And you're right, it's a real kick in the teeth. John Bon Jovial, what you got?
Well, first of all, welcome back, Jenny. It's great to have you on the show again.
Thank you.
But you mentioned something, of course, Atlantic Records, and that gets an eyebrow raised. Did they sign you?
No, I haven't been signed yet because they wanted to hear more music from me. They kind of heard like a diversity. So you guys know over the years I've kind of gone through all the different genres with my music. I'm real versatile like that. So I've had different songs throughout the years. And so when I brought them the music, they were like, well, which genre do you want to go in? Pop, retro, which one is it? So I was like, well, I love pop. That's what I really passionately love to do. So they asked for more pop songs to bring back to them, and then we're going to talk about things and see where we can go from there.
Well, if they want you to come back, that has got to be a very encouraging sign for you.
Absolutely.
Is.
Well,
and you
that's
definitely
wonderful.
have to stay in touch with us. You
Yeah.
got to stay in touch with us and let us know what's going on so we can, well, for one, we can be happy for you, and secondly, we could share the word.
Yes. We're hoping for big things, and if it doesn't happen with the first one, you just got to keep going, and eventually things will happen for you. Yep.
Absolutely, yeah. But you've definitely got the talent, you've got the perseverance and persistence, and I think when the right ears hear you, it's going to click. I have no doubt about that at all. Tell us about this album. Oh, absolutely. Tell us about this album project.
These are actually just singles that you guys are about to hear. One of them is called Alone, and that song, I wrote that basically about, sometimes when we're lonely, we kind of rush into relationships. We get with people and we move too fast, and we don't think things through before we do them, and then we end up with people we're not happy with or in situations we're not happy in. And so I wrote this song as like a reminder to myself and other women, men, whoever may be going through the same thing, that there's regret in the things that we don't think about, and we must think everything through, because in the morning, if we don't think things through, we're going to still be in the same boat and all alone. So that's what Alone's about. And then the other one, Hearing Voices, is more like about anxiety and stress, because we all kind of go through that in life too.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's more about all the thoughts that go through your head and how you're trying to gain control of yourself, and because I go through that a lot. I can't lie.
So I can well imagine. Let's do this. Let's give the audience a little bit of a teaser. We're going to give you about 30 seconds of the first song that Jenny mentioned. This is Alone. I like that track. That's got a nice sound to it, and I have to admit I've been privileged to be able to listen to the entire track. But that is a nice sound. It's a little bit different for you, Jenny, but it retains your style. But it is a little bit of a change.